A very good morning. Welcome to Breakfast News with the Sentinel. I'm Oinitam. Let me now run you through the headlines in today morning's The Sentinel. First up, news about So first, let me run you through the top headlines in today morning's The Sentinel. First, of course, is the news about the formation of a new regional party, which is on the cards. We have been hearing about it for some time now. It all started, the talks about the need to form a regional party in Assam started during the NT-CA or the Anti-Citizenship Amendment Act agitation that we saw way back in 2019 and beginning of 2020. So here's more on that particular story. More than 3 decades after Assam witnessed the birth of the first regional political party, that's the Ahom Gana Parishad or the AGP, the stage is now set for the formation of another regional political platform. This party is likely to be floated in October this year. This will come just ahead of the scheduled assembly elections for the Assam State Assembly, which is likely to be held around April, May next year. The All Assam Students Union, or ASU, Assam Jatyatabadi Yuba Chhatra Parishad, or the AJYCP, and various other ethnic organizations will back the new political party. One of the aims of this proposed party is to politically solve all the issues of the state, including illegal influx of the Bangladeshi nationals. ASU General Secretary Lurinjyoti Gogoi told the Sentinel that the need for an alternative regional political force was strongly felt in Assam during the anti-CA movement in the last part of 2019 and the early part of 2020. He said, and I quote, "Since the ruling BJP and the AGP cheated the people of the state by supporting the CA, it was the need of the hour to form an alternative regional political party. The Congress had also cheated the people of Assam in the past. The AIUDF is fundamentally a communal party. Under such a situation, the people of the state want a political party which will solve the burning issues of Assam," unquote. So the stage seems to be set for another regional party that is likely to be born later by October this year in Assam, ahead of the Assam Assembly elections. Moving on to other stories, this is an update on the coronavirus treatment and the numbers in Assam. The State Health Minister, Mr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, has informed that starting today, the government, the State Health Department, will provide patients preferring to stay in home isolation to they would be given a pulse oximeter and first-line supportive medicines completely free in Guwahati city. That is the tweet there, viewers, for all of you to see. That's up on your screens. That's the tweet from the State Health Minister, Mr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, stating that starting today, the State Health Department will provide pulse oximeter and first-line supportive medicine. This will be provided to all those patients preferring to stay in home isolation in Guwahati city. The government has already activated the telemedicine service, and you just have to dial 104 to access the telemedicine facilities that the government is providing for all those people who test positive for COVID and prefer to stay home for home isolation. This particular facility will be expanded to other areas as well. That is what the Health Minister, Mr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, has said. He also said that there were 2 trends of COVID cases in Guwahati from July 16th to August 8th. The positivity rate has come down from 18% to 4.5%. The number of positive cases per day is also slowing down. There is need to maintain this trend for a few more weeks. That's the tweet from the Health Minister, Mr. Sharma. There's the graph where it's clearly stated the percentage, how the data has been behaving in the past few months. This is the data for July and August. That's a clearer picture on your screens, how the rate has come down. 16th of July, it was there at 16.7%, and now 8th of August, it has come down to 4.5%. It is definitely below the national average as well. This is the positivity rate for the city of Guwahati and Kamrup Metro. This is how it looks like, but of course, the state government, the administration heads, they're all appealing to the people not to take any chances. What they are saying is that we have to ensure all the social distancing and other COVID restrictions so that the numbers do not rise again. Now, this is the day-wise COVID positive cases data for the Guwahati city. 16th of July, 598 cases. 8th of August, the number of cases down to 299. So this is, of course, some good news, but we definitely cannot take anything for granted, and we have to remain careful and alert and continue to do all those things that we have been doing, like social distancing, like wearing the mask, when not necessary, staying indoors. Only if we continue to do all of these things, maybe we will be able to break the chain in the longer run as well. Now, the doctors, meanwhile, are saying that doctors and experts are saying that plasma therapy to treat serious COVID-19 positive patients in Assam have been found to be encouraging. But what the doctors and experts are saying is that we should not take plasma therapy as magic bullet for recovery of those infected by the virus. Now, the observation comes amid, the whole social media and other platforms being used, seeking for plasma donors. Now, that is a word of caution or an alarm being sounded off by the health experts there, all just indicating, just wanting us to stay safe and stay alert. Now, there are a few other stories here from what the Chief Minister of Assam, Mr. Sarbananda Sonowal, has said is that he has directed the Revenue and Disaster Management Department to conduct a detailed survey across the state about the alleged encroachments of government land. Now, recently we had informed you viewers about the report submitted by one of the top forest officials, stating that anywhere between 30% to 80% of the reserve forest areas in and around Guwahati have been encroached, and really huge amount of forest land, reserve forest land, under encroachments, and all of these encroached land, majority of those have now become criminal hubs. Now, the Chief Minister directing the Revenue and Disaster Management Department to conduct a detailed survey of all such land, not just the reserve forest areas, but even otherwise all government land which has been encroached upon. This direction was given during a review meeting that the Chief Minister held on Sunday. The Chief Secretary of Assam, Mr. Kumar Sanjay Krishna, Additional Chief Secretary Home, Political, Revenue and Disaster Management, Jishnu Barua, and other senior officials of the state were present at that particular meeting. And now all the 33 deputy commissioners of the 33 districts of Assam have been directed to carry out these surveys. Now, moving on to news from the rest of Northeast, of course, the big story coming out from Northeast is the all Arunachal Pradesh Students Union, the all Arunachal Pradesh Students Union, or APSU, now raising their voice against the Environment Impact Assessment 2020. We have been reporting this news about the Central Environment Ministry planning to bring in certain changes to EIA 2020, which on the face of it, the way it looks now, it kind of raises an alarm bell, rings the alarm bell for Assam and Northeast, because the changes that the government proposes to bring in will not augur well for the environment of Assam and Northeast. The safeguards will be gone. That is how the present EIA, whatever the government is planning to do, looks like. Now, the APSU has written a letter to the Secretary of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, citing its strong objection to the Draft Environment Impact Assessment, or EIA 2020. The apex students body of the state further said that it found many provisions of the draft to be pro-industry and averse to the affected people's participation. So there was a slight technical snag, and I'm back with the story. I was just informing you about the APSU's opposition, the strong opposition coming in from the Arunachal Pradesh Students' Union to the Environment Impact Assessment of 2020. Now, they have already shot off a letter to the Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. This is the union ministry. The ministry is proposing certain changes to the EIA 2020, which, according to most experts and environmental activists, would prove detrimental to the environment of Assam and Northeast. Therefore, stiff opposition to the changes which the government is proposing to make from across sectors. In fact, it is not just restricted to the environment experts and people who care for the environment or the lawyers. In fact, many of the artists have come forward to oppose the proposed changes. Now, 11th August is the deadline, which is tomorrow is the last date to submit all your suggestions and your recommendations regarding the proposed changes. That is the timeline that the central ministry has given to people to react to the proposed changes to be made to EIA 2020. Now, moving on to Arunachal, here is an update on the number of COVID cases. The tally in the state has gone up to 2,117, 68 fresh cases reported. The number of tests conducted in the state stands at 1,04,833. 1,430 patients have recovered. The state has 684 active cases and the death toll stands at 3. So that is the update from Arunachal Pradesh as far as the coronavirus situation in that particular state is concerned. Moving on to Meghalaya, 39 new cases have been recorded, 67 recovered. The number of active cases stands at 566. And the total number of recoveries is 490. Now, 67 is in the past 24 hours, 39 new cases in the past 24 hours, but the total number of recoveries in the state is 490. So that is the update from Meghalaya, the coronavirus status in the state of Meghalaya. Meanwhile, the center has released 890 crore rupees as second COVID installment. The amount has been given under the Emergency Response and Health System Preparedness Package to 22 states and union territories. Among these beneficiary states are the 7 northeastern states: Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, and Sikkim. So some amount of money once again being released to fight coronavirus. Now that is all I have for all of you this morning. That is the update from the newspaper, The Sentinel this morning. Of course, news and updates continue in sentinelassam.com. So stay updated with all the news and updates that we will be bringing to you through our website, sentinelassam.com. Do find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You will have all our video stories as well as our news stories in all of these social platforms as well. So do log in to sentinelassam.com and stay updated. Have a great week ahead. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Till we meet again, it's a goodbye. Stay safe. Take care.